get out the retro consoles, it's Retro Core. And kicking off this show we've got Xexex by Konami for the arcade, otherwise known as Aureus in the West. Now all looks quite serious, doesn't it, from the introduction? But to be honest, this game should not be taken seriously.
Xexex.
Okay, so into stage 1 we go, and you can clearly see there's a little bit of R-type about it because you have a pod stuck to the front of your ship. You can power up your weapon and let off a big laser blast, and you can also fire off the pod, just like an R-type. Yep, this game does borrow from Irem's R-type quite a bit. But not only Irem's R-type, but also Irem's X Multiply. Because if you fire off the pod, it can grow tentacles. Oh yeah, just like an X Multiply. And those tentacles can kill things just by touching them. Very nice. And of course, once you fire off the pod, you can just keep your finger on the actual fire button and continuously shoot. No more charging weapons. As you can see, my pod's up in the top right hand corner there. It's actually got one tentacle at the moment, but it can grow two. So after completing each stage you get a lovely cutscene like this. And all of a sudden the game doesn't look too serious anymore. Lots of colourful balls. And a princess begging for her life. Very strange. Incidentally, that princess seems to lose more clothes as the cutscenes go on. Very odd. So the story goes, the princess was kidnapped by this female looking bloke, and it's up to you to go and save her. Weird thing is, when you do save her, she turns into a naked angel. An interesting thing about the Western release of this game is the gameplay changes. I've actually altered some of the weapons you can use in the game, such as the charging laser is no longer there. As far as gameplay goes, it's basically a typical Konami shoot 'em up really. If you play Gradius, Salamander, Life Force and all the others, it's pretty much the same sort of thing. But this game looks a lot more colourful and just a slightly bit of parodious wackiness in there. Here we go, taking on a big dragon with a laser. Why is our feminine looking bad guy electrocuting the woman's boobs? Only in Japan, eh? Unfortunately, this game never got a home console release, but it was released on the PlayStation Portable. Now personally, I think playing a shoot 'em up on a portable console is a waste of bloody time. You need a big TV, sit down with your joystick. That's a controller joystick, by the way, and seriously get into the game. Not hunched over a little crappy screen. But anyway, yeah, it's part of the Salamander pack, just in case you're wondering. And the wackiness continues all the way to the name entry screen. You're entering your initials, choose whether you're female or male, and then choose whether you are a child, a man, a woman, and whatever. Complete nuts. Okay, so let's start off with the first unlicensed version of Double Dragon by Appellate. Well, first impressions are good, title screen looks nice, the background music is nice. But how does it play? Well, the arcade introduction is there, complete with the panties, and it is 2-player as well. Graphics look good, just as good as the arcade, looking good. Playability wise, well, it's pretty fast. In fact, I'd say it plays faster than the arcade machine, and for that it's better. Collision detection's a little bit, can be a little bit suspect at times, but overall, it's a very good conversion. Yeah. Pretty faithful to the arcade. So yeah, Double Dragon on the Mega Drive, worth picking up. By the way, this version of Double Dragon I think was only released in the United States and Europe. Definitely wasn't released in Japan. But what was released in Japan is Double Dragon 2. In fact, it was a Japanese exclusive. So let's take a look. Well, it's got the funky remix music straight from the arcade game. In fact, it sounds pretty much the same as the arcade's BGM. Oh, hang on. Let me switch off the Mega Drive and put a bloody Master System on. Yeah, as you can see, the graphics on Double Dragon 2 for the Mega Drive are bloody awful. Little tiny sprites, very basic colours, and incredible slowdown. But hey, at least it's 2 players. But one really annoying thing about it is it has that stupid bloody control. So basically when you're facing towards the right of the screen, the A button is punch and the B button is kick. But if you turn around and face the left side of the screen, A button becomes kick and B button becomes punch. And you cannot believe how fucking annoying this is. Just when you're thinking, I'll just punch him in the face, he goes and fucking kicks backwards. Because the controls have changed, because you've changed direction. Who on earth thought of such a stupid fucking idea for controls like that? That is just pathetic. See, I can't even throw the bloody ball, I keep throwing it the other way because I'm pressing the wrong bloody button. So yeah, Double Dragon 2 is a sack of shit, plays like crap, looks like crap, but sounds pretty good. And here we go to Double Dragon 3, an American made Double Dragon game. And of course, being an American Mega Drive game, it uses the Gen sound engine. In other words, the shit sound engine that pretty much every American Mega Drive game used. It just sounds bloody awful, so grating on the ears. A bit like my voice. But yeah, graphically, it's pretty faithful to the arcade machine. A lot smaller, but then again, the arcade didn't even look that big. But yeah, graphics are pretty faithful, I guess, to the arcade machine. Oh, but that music is just so annoying. The arcade version has a lot of speech here, but seems to be missing on the Mega Drive, but you'd expect that. One thing that isn't forgivable on this Mega Drive version is the piss poor animation. Just look at the way this big guy walks. It's bloody awful. But yeah, as far as playability goes, it's pretty faithful to the arcade machine. Fairly stupid AI, just like the arcade machine. So there you have it. 3 arcade conversions of Double Dragon for the 16-bit console. And to be honest, I'd have to say I'd give it to Appellate unlicensed Double Dragon. Definitely the most impressive conversion out of all 3. So if you're after a Double Dragon game for your 16-bit console, in other words your Mega Drive or your Genesis, go for the first Double Dragon. Now, do you remember a while ago I featured Fighting Masters for Shite of the Month? A one-on-one beat 'em up featuring aliens and monsters and stuff beating the crap out of each other, and it was complete and utter bollocks. Thank you, Trekco. And actually, somebody mentioned on my YouTube channel's comments that that game was actually produced by the same people who made Cosmic Smash, or what's it called, Cyber Brawl on the 32X, and that's complete and utter shit as well. So it looks like they never learnt the lesson. Anyway, this is Beast Warriors, or this is the American version known as Beast Wrestlers. I wonder why they changed the name. Anyway, so you take 2 alien mutant creatures, stick them in the ring, and beat the crap out of each other. With one major problem. The fucking controls do not work. Oh yeah, this is another typical button masher. In fact, this isn't even a button masher. You can mash the buttons and nothing will happen. Basically, you press a button, it does what it feels like. It is completely and totally unplayable. Man, I thought Fighting Masters was bad. This is a million times worse. I checked the instruction manual, I checked the net, I just cannot get anything to work on it. Doesn't seem to matter what you do, the moves are random. It's bloody awful. Not only that, the graphics are shit as well. Just look at the animation, it's pathetic. And the background music's bloody awful too. Yep, truly shite of the show. Bubblegum Crash is the follow-up to one of my favourite animes of all time, Bubblegum Crisis. Well, actually not my favourite is basically Goku. Yeah, I know, it might be a girl's anime, but I like it. Anyway, yeah, this is a Bubblegum Crash, which is also a pretty decent animation, not as good as the original Bubblegum Crisis, but still pretty good. And this is a game which was released only in Japan with a PC engine. But luckily, it's been translated into English thanks to a couple of fan subbers, or whatever they're called for games, I don't know. But anyway, a couple of nice guys have translated it into English for us who can't speak Japanese. So you start off the game as Nene, and as you know, Nene works for the AD police as a traffic police officer. Of course, she's also part of the Night Sabers. And just in case you're wondering who the hell the Night Sabers, well, the Night Sabers consist of 4 women, being Nene here, the red-haired one, Lena, who's more of an athletic-y type, Pris, who is a rock star, and Celia, who seems to be the brains of the operation. Oh, and she's got a little brother called Maki, who likes nothing better than to sort of perv around. Anyway, so Nena speaks to Leon in the office. He's like the main guy in the AD police where Nena works, but he never seems to be able to do anything right. And he also has a bit of a homosexual partner, Dale. But Leon's more interested in dating Pris. But he never gets to. Anyway, so Nena goes to investigate the crime which has happened. She comes across these two kids, finds out they're playing the game, goes into the bank, gets some more information, and it finally leads her to this guy here, who's a bit of an asshole. Now, if I'm to be completely honest, this game is definitely no Snatcher or Police Notes. And to be even more honest, as far as a Japanese, not really point and click, but more of a Japanese adventure game of this type, it's not really that good. You know, it's decent, but it could be better, especially with the license. So if you're a fan of the Bubblegum series, then yeah, I'm sure you'll probably like this game. It is a bit slow to start off, but it does pick up the more you play the game. The interface is fairly straightforward. The translation's quite nice as well. I don't know if you can actually buy this on a ROM, you know, on an actual PC Engine cart, or card, whatever you want to call them. But it is available up on the internet, so I'm sure if you visit the EMU, the Paradise, you'll probably find it. Or even visit the ROM Nation, who knows? Anyway, use Google. Oh, it's time to get our lovely PC98 out and play a bit of Touhou Reiiden. What a very strange subtitle. Quite a small, unusual game, this one. Basically, it's a Arkanoid mixed with a bit of a shoot 'em up. Instead of batting the ball back up with a bat, you shoot it back up. By the way, those little peas that you see falling down don't seem to do anything. I think they just give you more points. As well as also being able to shoot the ball, you can also bat it back up with your little magical paper whip stick thing. I can't remember the name of it now in Japanese. But that allows you to get the ball when it's pretty low to the ground. But you can't take your time in this game, no, because if you take too long, you get bombarded with all these little white balls. Luckily you can sort of flick them away with your little magical wand, white stick thingy. A nice little game. Worth checking out if you can find it. Known as Prehistoric Man in the West, this is yet another traditional, or should I say generic, platformer from Titus. Yeah, that French company that brought us many under par games. But surprisingly, this one looks better than their usual fare. But does it play any better? Let's watch on and find out. Well, yeah, that's pretty typical of a Western platformer, isn't it? Fill it with some sort of sampled speech. But that is quite amusing, I have to admit. Oh, and here we go. Yeah, collect the bloody food icons. How generic. Yeah, that seems to be the thing with Western-made platformers, isn't it? Especially European ones. You go around and collect all sorts of colourful food. And for what reason? Who the fuck knows? Gives you points, I know that much. Anyway, so throughout the game you get to meet this bit of a brutish looking guy here, and he'll make you some weapons to aid you in your quest. Now each level is slightly different, each level has its own unique, I don't know, task to complete. And complete the tasks and you complete the level. Here we go with our powered up weapon, which is actually quite useless because it sort of arcs over the enemies if you're a bit too close to them. Gameplay wise, it's nothing special, it's just generic really. Graphics are fairly nice though, although there you go, you can see it's sort of arcing over that guy. Although again, nothing special really. The task for this level is collect enough icons or enough items which is requested by the caveman police guy at the end of the level. Collect enough and he'll let you pass. So it's hard to recommend P.man or Prehistoric Man as it's also known. If you're just after a bit of a platformer game for your Super Nintendo, then yeah, by all means give it a try, but be warned, it's nothing special. It's as generic as can be.